God, I just saw this door move.
I just keep hearing this beeping in the background. Somebody must be cussing like a fucking sailor. They should join this
Yes.
channel
Sounds like
instead.
it.
Anyway.
Yeah, but he
Hello,
wasn't.
every pony. Postscript to the Burgundy Crusaders here. Wow, I can't talk all of a sudden. And we are here with episode 26, The Royal Treatment. Why does everybody keep doing the George George
Takai.
Takai? Oh, my reference. I don't get it. Why are they doing that meme?
It's a royal treatment. I think it's like an acronym for like a sex joke. Think about it.
I don't get it.
Oh.
The sisters are going to give you a royal treatment, quote unquote.
Mm.
I don't get it.
Okay.
Anyways, so I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Rosie.
Hi.
She's here in her sea pony form.
Yes.
Shoop, 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 shoopy doop.
And we're here with, I keep wanting to call him Chuckfee, but no, he's Shadow Knight.
Hey guys, what's going on?
And here joining us for the first time is Burgundy Patches.
Burgundy Patches.
Patches. I told you I can't
Oh my
talk
gosh.
tonight.
It was just the image of Burgundy as an alpaca just popped in my head, and it was fantastic. So, hey y'all.
We have Chuckfee in the text chat apparently because he keeps popping up.
He's at school.
Yeah, he's at school. Anyways, he doesn't know we're live now. Somebody should probably mention that. Skype's updates keep fucking up. They keep doing weird things to me. Anyways. So, yeah, the royal treatment, we're going to do a special talk. We're going to talk about since it's President's Day, here at least here in the U.S., we're going to talk about the leaders of Equestria. We're going to talk about the princesses. The princess of the sun, the princess of the moon, the princess of love, and the princess of friendship. You know, the best one. So...
Wait, Cadence? No, wait.
Twilight. Twilight is always best princess.
Well, that's a peculiar way to say Luna. Oh well.
You just like seeing that full moon. Anyway.
Well, I do praise them. I do praise the moon. What are you doing in my flank? Gotta go.
And Burgundy all of a sudden went quiet.
I was laughing.
Hi, Patches.
Yo. Hi.
Welcome to BS, by the way. This is only just the beginning.
I do apologize if I'm quiet. I'm still trying to get the feel of the group and...
You're fine. Take your time.
This is essentially what it is. It's kind of an open discussion deal. We're going to start with one person. They're going to talk about the princesses, and we're going to kind of add in our own thoughts, and we'll take turns. But one person will kind of be the spearhead of one part of a discussion, and then move on to the next. And
yeah.
Cool. Alrighty, sounds good.
I usually try to leave myself for last because I have a big mouth and I'll add in thoughts myself as people speak. A little bit. I'll try not to do that too much, though.
You're fine.
Oh,
it's your show.
Totally fine.
It's your Rosie show.
Yes.
Yep.
So since you're, since this is your first show, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about what some of your own thoughts about the princesses. What are some of your favorite episodes, or maybe some of your thoughts about how they rule, or anything you want to say about the princesses themselves, or anything about politics in general of Equestria?
Oh, this ought to be fun.
Oh, yeah.
So
this
fun
is
little
all about
fact.
princesses today.
Fun little fact, I do not have a favorite princess.
Oh,
Believe it or not.
interesting.
Oh,
Interesting.
I know, right?
It's fine.
I think each of them, it all depends on how well they're written into the episode and how they're portrayed.
Mm-hmm.
I think mostly I appreciate the back and forth between Celestia and Luna when they have that opportunity. I think we've only had, maybe 3 episodes of that in the entire series. But I do love their sisterly back and forth and their disagreements. And I grew up with almost all sisters, so it's very, very relatable over here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's like a favorite princess. It's more just a favorite relationship. Twilight, she's a lot of fun. She does have a really interesting arc, I should say. I mean, I'm a little on the fence here because I feel like they've done as much as they could with her character at this point. I'm interested to see what happens in season 8, but yeah, I don't know what else they're going to do. Cadence, on the other hand, like, she's just this blank slate.
So
it's
she's
like
just
they're
there.
Trying. I know, right? Like, she's there, and she was being accused of being Barbie pony, and then they tried to make her overly adventurous in what was that episode with the giant flower worm thing?
Three's a Crowd.
Three's a Crowd.
Yes, thank you. Three's a Crowd, as well as the attack on the Crystal Empire, and she has a lot of potential, and I really want to like her because she's a new mom, and I want her to prove that she's more than, I should say, more than a Barbie pony, or more than just I'm just as powerful as everybody else.
So you want her character fleshed out.
Yeah, I just want to see more.
Mm-hmm.
Give us more. Yeah, other than that, those are my thoughts.
Cool.
If I can add to your point about Princess Cadence, I believe that last season there was a bit more development from her in some way. In the episode Once Upon the Zeppelin, after when Twilight misses the meteor shower because of Iron Will, Cadence comforted Twilight that she taught an important lesson about balancing her role duties along with spending time with her friends and family, and because ever since she had Flurry Heart, she found out that the choice was actually easy for her to do, and she inspired Twilight to actually stand up to Iron Will and tell all the passengers on the cruise, saying that it's great to spend time with her subjects, but there are times where she has to spend time with her own friends and family. So that was a bit of development from Cadence on my part, because like all the previous episodes she's appeared in at this point, the what you're calling about the her being like the Barbie of the princesses, and sometimes like she does like have a personality of like that she wants to have a bit more adventure in her life. She said in Freeze a Crowd that being the Crystal Empire is all well and good, but it became a little predictable to her. So like with all the things happen, like being captured by a changeling queen and being impersonated by her, and then the Crystal Empire was about to fall under King Sombra again, and the mishaps when waiting for the Inspector Miss Harshwinny for the Equestria games, and doing like more adventurous stuff like Twilight and her friends do is what she kind of needs in her life. So that was another bit of development from Cadence there, but I want to see an episode where that Cadence really can come out of a shell, and seeing a side of her that we may never seen before. So.
I agree, and I did like that Once Upon a Zeppelin episode. I did appreciate the development that came from that. I think she definitely needs more of it.
She does.
Now, going to the topic of Celestia and Luna, like they've been there since the beginning. When the opening sequence in the very first episode, telling the backstory of how Luna became Nightmare Moon, and Celestia tried to reason with her, and had no choice but to banish her to the moon. It was so it was kind of interesting to see how these two would interact with each other, like because there's like the issue of mercy versus justice, and I've seen like a few videos talking about this very topic, that after when the main six freed Luna from being Nightmare Moon with the elements of harmony, Luna was expected to be punished by her own sister, but Celestia actually decided to give her mercy because, as she revealed in Princess Twilight Sparkle, that she actually regretted of sending her sister away. So it actually shows like the sisterly relationship between the two. And then, and in the very first episode that they probably had together, which we all waited for to happen, A Royal Problem. Especially in the dream sequence where Celestia takes over Luna's duties of dream walking, and she, Luna, and Starlight Glimmer witness the battles between Nightmare Moon and Celestia's own evil self, Daybreaker, and Celestia said that this is what would happen if they continued to fight like they did in the episode, and they actually admitted to each other that doing each other's jobs might be easy, but it turned out that it was even more harder than they thought. Because like when Luna tried to do Celestia's jobs, they thought she could do was smile and wave and all that, but and she was wrong about that. And when Celestia tries to do Luna's job of helping ponies in their dreams, that she realized that Luna must be the bravest pony to do this on her own. And with Luna's encouragement, that Celestia managed to defeat not only Nightmare Moon in the dream setting, but also Daybreaker as well at the same time. And and it also gives a personality of both of the sisters, like what they do in the day, like making pancakes, changing like lavender flowers for the nighttime, and all those things. And of course, Celestial Advice, the premiere episode of season 7, give us more development on Celestia than any other episode in the series, because when she told Twilight her story about of how she had the same fears that she did when she wanted Twilight to go to Ponyville to make friends. We saw how she had her own freakouts, seeing her sadness when she saw her sister in the moon, and that priceless laugh after when Twilight's its situations might go horribly wrong. That just absolutely sold it.
Yeah, I've definitely appreciated Celestia's development over the past couple of seasons. Like, holy cow. They've added so much to her character rather than, every once in a while she's a thrill seeker. And she's a little...
7 years.
I know, right?
Hey, it was worth the wait.
Yep.
Says you guys.
Should have been done sooner. I'm going to say that right now, but
Yes,
I do
it
appreciate
really
it when
should
it
have
finally
been
came out.
And also relating the relationship between Celestia and Twilight as her student, it's not like it varies in the dynamic as the seasons have went by. So like when Celestia chooses Twilight to go on tasks such as saving the Crystal Empire, and even Luna showed some doubts of why would she send her to do that, because I can definitely recognize from that point on that Celestia was preparing Twilight for her ascension into an Alicorn, and Twilight was always put Celestia on a high pedestal because like she was her main teacher throughout her life. And then, like in recent episodes where she took Starlight Glimmer on as her student, that she has to learn that sometimes students have to learn things in their own way, and she starts to take that lesson to heart. Even though that she can be a bit overboard at times in terms of her paranoia and things,
A bit.
she
A bit.
well, a lot, I should say. Anyway, she means well and does help solve the right problems in the end. Especially during events of the MOP movie, where Twilight was going through like some sort of crisis within herself. That after when Tempest turns the other three princesses into stone, she and her friends had no choice but to escape Equestria to find the hippogriffs, and Twilight was going through a situation where that the normal ways of solving friendship might not actually work outside of Equestria because they were no longer in Equestria, and her frustration was like bubbling up inside of her. So like when Rainbow Dash did the Sonic Rainbow on purpose led to Tempest fighting them, and also Pinkie trying to draw her face on the map to the land of the hippogriffs and other things. Mm-hmm. And well, I have to admit that with Twilight stealing the pill was a bit uncalled for, but she knew that she had to do something desperate in order to what she thought was defeating the Storm King with. But but then that whole scene where she actually lashes out at Pinkie and the others, that maybe this wouldn't have happened if I didn't have friends like you. That really, really, really put the emotional feels into it, because this and Twilight realized that friendship had failed her, especially outside of Equestria, and she knew that she had to lay it all out at them, and the main six actually admit that they really should have thought of a better way to be focused on their mission. But on the other hand, if they didn't inspire Kappa and Captain Seleno and the pirates and Skystar of the hippogriffs turned sea ponies, like, they wouldn't have defeated the Storm King together as friends. So that's why I admire Twilight for this obvious reason. No matter how many times that there are problems that might be very difficult to solve, but with determination and courage, in the end, she wouldn't have achieved those goals.
Well, Twilight herself stated it at the end, even after she was captured. She hadn't, or friendship hadn't failed her. She had failed friendship.
Mm-hmm.
She had put so much focus on the mission, she had given up on who she was and everything that had got her there.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's why I love this series, to the moon and back. No pun intended. Just everybody seems to underestimate the power of just being a good person to other people. Just treating each other with respect and having those qualities that essentially the elements of harmony have. You know, people keep saying, "Oh, this person failed me," and they'll like put all the blame on the other person, but they don't take into account that maybe they might be the ones at fault. And that's obviously not the case with every case. I mean, obviously there are cases where it's totally that other person's fault. You need to cut that person out of your life, stat. But, you know, in a lot of cases, probably, I'm going to say it's about safe to say it's like 85% of the time, you probably messed up and you need to go back and re-examine what happened.
And to finish off my point about Twilight, like the best episode that I really love about Twilight was Amending Fences, because like she made a grave mistake of abandoning her old friend Moon Dancer in the events of the first episode, without saying goodbye. And that is something.
She was a little. You have to give her credit on that one. I mean, come on. She had other priorities that day.
Also, Celestia pretty much kicked her into Ponyville to say, "Go make friends."
Yeah,
Pretty much.
yeah, too. Yeah, I give her credit for that. But anyway, she had the chance to actually make up for that mistake by apologizing to Moon Dancer, and the whole party scene nearly made me tear up, because I kind of relate both Twilight and Moon Dancer in the same situation. Like, from Moon Dancer's point of view, like being left alone, and because really makes you feel so hard on yourself that makes you don't want to reach out to others. Was with Twilight, on the other hand, that it makes you feel guilty about like leaving your friends without telling them where you were going, and that it actually brought out the sad actions from the both of them on their part. And especially when Twilight said, like, I battled all sorts of creatures, trying outside of Equestria, all sorts of things. But seeing the way it hurt you, it was the worst mistake I ever had. And Moondancer was able to forgive Twilight for that. And that's why she wasn't going to be like either Suri Polymer or Lightning Dust, who got their commempances after what they did to both Rarity and Rainbow Dash. Moondancer actually accepted friendship and didn't go down the path that Suri and Lightning Dust had. So that's why it's one of my all-time favorite episodes and my favorite Twilight episode.
I think one of the most important aspects of that particular scene, though, was the fact that Twilight brought out more than just her own friendship, but showed that Moondancer had friends in her life already. People in her life that she already knew and had relationships with on a regular basis.
Agreed.
And
I
not
feel like
only
there's-
that, but promised to be able to come back and spend more time with her. So, not only that, but she was patching that up, revealed that she had others in her life, and was able to help Moondancer open up to the other friends she already had, which also included, Minuet and Lemon Drop and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Who was that?
Snugwarts.
Oh.
So she was trying to Burgundy patch things up.
Ha ha ha.
I have a kick button right here.
I'll be right back.
Very nice. Knew it was just a matter of time before somebody pulled that one.
And the funny thing that I really like about Twilight was like all the times where she kind of goes into insanity a little bit, especially like Hero. Especially when the scene where she pops out of the bowl and goes, "Hi, girls."
We're going way back into season 2.
I love that episode.
That was an episode I could watch over and over and over again, just because it
Yes.
was so much fun.
And I still don't know why I keep hearing the song by Oingo Boingo Little Girls playing in the background. Oh well, I guess I'll never know.
Oh dear.
And because of the reason why she did that was that she thought that if she couldn't find a friendship problem, she created one herself.
Right.
And putting the all want me spell on Mr. Smarty Pants. And after when Princess Celestia managed to calm things down and showed her disappointment in her, she expected to get punishment for it. But this is where another case of mercy versus justice comes into play, where Celestia gives mercy to Twilight because she understood that Twilight regretted for doing this situation, and from now on she asked not only herself but also her friends to write friendship reports to her, only when one has been learned. And
Well, it was less of a punishment and more of a. She kind of knew what was going on.
yeah.
She already knew what was going on.
Yep.
And then we couldn't forget the adorable fangirling moments that she had, especially when it comes to Star Sword the Bearded, with the whole season 7 finale was. That was like both an adorable thing about her, but also it turns out to be another flaw that she had. Was that she was really, really excited to meet Star Sword the Bearded in the flesh for the first time. She didn't consider that not only it would bring him and the Pillars back into Equestria, but also it would have released the Pony of Shadows as well. And then she knew that she made a mistake of bringing all of them back to the Equestria.
She's very brash.
And it was all thanks to Starlight Glimmer, who was trying to be the main voice of reason, saying, "I think we should actually talk about all this first." But Twilight insisted on bringing Star Sword back, and then for part 2, where Star Sword is giving her looks about what she did, and Bane Six stood up for Twilight, saying, "Hello, she was the one who got wings because she completed one of your spells."
Well, see, that's like the whole thing is that sometimes they'll meet people that they think are better than them, and they totally forget their own accomplishments. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I struggle with that all the time.
Yeah. And there's another interesting point about how Star Sword was looking down on Twilight. She was going for the similar situation when how Rainbow Dash reacted when she met Daring Do for the first time. Because, like, how would someone react if an idol that they met for the first time wasn't all that they expected to be? And Twilight was actually feeling such that as Star Sword was was not only the wise wizard, but also he was like kind of stubborn of not understanding what friendship was.
An asshole.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
But if it weren't for her and Starlight talking to Stygian, who was the Pony of Shadows, and finding out the real reason why he stole all the artifacts, was that he didn't want them to steal their powers for himself. All he ever wanted was their respect, and also to become their equal.
He wanted to stand beside them on the battlefield rather than behind them.
Exactly. He wanted to be as powerful as them.
Right. That was not like, because he wanted glory. I think he actually wanted to help.
Yeah.
Yep.
I know how that feels.
So that both Twilight and Starlight made the Star Sword and the other pillars realize that they should have been more honest with Stygian about, like, if it weren't for him recruiting them all together to defeat the Sirens, and they should have really been more honest with him before he took drastic measures that made him become the Pony of Shadows. So they really learned the errors of the ways from that one.
Honestly, I don't think he became the Pony of Shadows until he stumbled into that cave himself. And that's when he found the power of shadows in the first place. Which then corrupted him.
Yeah.
Right. I kind of disagree that it being a bad idea to bring the I don't even know what to call them, the legends back, as well as the Pony of Shadows, because people would say that was a bad thing, but to be honest, it ultimately led to them coming back together and then bringing all those powerful ponies back into Equestria to to teach and to help defend the country.
Now we not only have the elements of harmony, but you have the pillars, which everybody knows as legend.
Mm-hmm.
You have the princesses.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody's going to touch Equestria at this point. Or if they do,
That's
it's going to be a little touched in the head.
yeah. That's not gonna throw off the balance at all.
Unfortunately, it just might. It's gonna draw out darkness of much more power.
Yes, it is probably.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
go ahead.
the brighter the light, the deeper the darkness.
Mm-hmm. I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, there's always something of equal power rising. You have to have that balance.
Exactly.
So that's my overall thoughts on the princesses. Like, they bring all the good to Equestria, whilst they have the strengths, they also have their weaknesses, and also they learn from them.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you want to go next, Shadow?
Who is apparently perfect.
Biased. Anyway.
Okay.
I don't even really like Cadence. She's
just there.
I know, that bugs the ever-living crap out of me.
Twilight is best princess, okay? She is best pony, she is best princess, she is best everything.
Well, I would agree with you if people before I met you guys didn't shove her down my throat. Metaphorically, not literally. But anyway. Alright, so
my.
damn it, TK. I'll give you that one.
Hey, people have been using it on me all fucking afternoon. Shut up.
Well, you have the right to do that, man. Come on, you do. You have the right. Anyway. Alright, so let's see here. First princess I would like to say is Twilight Sparkle, even though I didn't get to experience it because some people I know before you guys basically ruined it for me, but I love the episode. I see her flaws. I'm going to say this right now. She's not a Mary Sue, the lead, at the least. She's not.
You.
Well, I agree. She's not a Mary Sue. She may be Deus Ex Machina, but she's no Mary Sue.
Mm.
But yeah, she's not a Mary Sue. I mean, she has her flaws and everything, and of course, her parents are freaking loaded. No wonder she got into a Celestia school so easily.
Yeah.
Also, I kind of feel that the egg was a test, but that's a different story for another time. No, but Twilight, to me, she is powerful, yes, but she does have her flaws. I mean, seriously, I enjoy her freaking out so much, and it's like, I love the fact that you have these flaws. I do. I mean, yes, that's awesome. And of course, I will say, the one episode of Mending Fences, I felt like all she cared about was her title at that time. The Princess of Friendship. That's how I felt. But it was a good episode, to say the least. And of course, at least she got a friend. At least she got a friend back, which was pretty awesome. And of course, am I the only one who basically played on a loop when she first came to the human world, where she kept smacking into the door? Am I the only one that played that on loop? I enjoyed it.
No way.
Yes,
so fantastic.
Yes, I actually played that in a loop, and I kind of chuckled. I'm like,
No, Maddie did that in her review.
Who did?
Maddie did that in her review. If you
Yes.
Yep,
recall.
I saw that. It was fantastic. I was rolling on the floor, literally.
Yes. But yeah, Twilight said Twilight has her flaws, her strengths, her weaknesses. It makes her to me, she's a balanced character. She is, no matter what anyone says. She is a pretty balanced character.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Let's see. Princess Cotton Candy. No, I know.
What?
I was about to call Princess Cadence Princess Cotton Candy because there was an old joke I heard about a while back. But anyway. Well, anyway. Princess Cadence. Writers, please Flesh her character out more. I want to know what makes Cadence Cadence. And I'm going to say this: she's not a Mary Sue at the least. She's not. I mean, I know. I mean, there's got to be more to Cadence than her just being there. And plus, she's a mother and everything, and of course she runs a kingdom. I gotta say, like, even though she stayed up to basically, keep the Crystal Empire safe, I do remember this one thing in the comic where Twilight was trying to convince her of her compliment, saying, well, you did save the Crystal Empire from Sombra, but, Cadence rightfully pointed out it was Twilight that saved the Crystal Heart.
Mm-hmm. Or more accurately, Spike.
Yeah. And plus, it feels like when someone basically... it's like this. When ponies set Cadence to get the win, it's like Cadence... It feels Cadence just doesn't do it. I'm like, Cadence, they're setting it up for you to get the win. Come on, take the shot. But no, like I said, Cadence... I would love to see her... I would love to see her character get fleshed out more. I would love to see that. She's not a Mary Sue, but to me, she has potential to be a good character.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next princess. Flurry Heart. Nah, we'll wait till she's older. Anyway.
Hey, she's cute. She totally won me over in the last episode with her.
Yes, Flurry's adorable. She's so adorable I'd give her hugs and cookies. Anyway.
Yep.
Anyway, next princess, Princess Celestia. The reason why I'm doing Celestia first is because... Here you go. Okay. Princess Celestia. Princess Celestia reminds me a lot of my sister. Because I'm going to say this right now, even though in the story a long time ago, they literally had their disagreements. And of course, basically, I found some... In later episodes, I literally find out. Screw it, I'm going to do both of them. Not a word. Anyway. The reason why, basically, it's like the whole sibling... it's not a sibling rivalry thing, but it's the whole, well, they always went back and forth and all that stuff, and of course in that one episode, Royal Problem. The thing is with Luna's problem is that she didn't feel appreciated. She didn't feel, like she was given enough attention. She felt like just everyone ignored her, and that wasn't the case. And then she just was filled with so much anger and jealousy, and Celestia didn't catch it early. That's why she went Nightmare Moon. Of course, then again, Luna didn't do anything as Nightmare Moon. Celestia pretty much stopped her before she even did anything. Which basically I would say, yeah, there you go, Celestia. You literally stopped, and I know you feel bad about doing it, but the thing is, you should have caught it early. Also, your subjects are morons. Who literally can't fend for themselves. I mean, seriously, I just kind of feel like for some reason it's like a pony basically, like he's like basically going into his house and he goes, no, I left my keys outside. Help! Somebody open the door. Like, are you serious? It's like if the princesses didn't exist, the ponies wouldn't know what to do. Same with the royal guards. Remember that episode where Celestia and Luna disappeared and the guards didn't know what to do and they just asked Twilight, give us instructions, please, kind of like deal.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I
That's
do
why-
remember that now.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's like, Princess Twilight, please help us. We have no idea what to do and we're completely stupid.
Don't they have like a chain of command that, is aside from the
should.
princesses?
They should. But yeah,
They need
like I
to
said-
bring in like a general and then fire him.
Yes. They
Like,
should.
dude, you haven't done your job for almost a decade.
But yeah, like I said, but both princesses, I will say, both have their strengths and weaknesses. Celestia, she has like a motherly tone to her. She's kind, gentle, and like I said, she has like a motherly tone behind her.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of feel that's why a lot of the ponies liked her. Because she was just a sweet, kind, like mother to all of them. And then everybody looks at Princess Luna and thinks that she's a horrifying emo, basically, horrifying emo little bitch that everybody has to avoid her at all times. Like, oh my god, she's so awkward. I'm like, she raises the moon for you. Be grateful there's night. But in any case, they both show their strengths and weaknesses, and that's something I wanted to see. I wanted to see especially Celestia's strength and weakness, because I knew everybody kept calling her a Mary Sue too. I'm like, I don't think she's a Mary Sue, because I think there's something more to Celestia than meets the eye.
Well, absolutely. And she's supposed to be a mentor character, which
Exactly.
means she's not perfect, but she does know a lot more than the rest of the cast.
Exactly.
If they were to bring her down to the same level as the main six, like that would just not work at all with the structure of the story.
Exactly. And I'm glad they literally showed her character, and it's like, well, there you go. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that, she has her mess ups, and we all mess up. We're all not perfect. We make mistakes and everything. Also, I love Daybreaker. She's just so badass. I'm like, oh, come on. I so would have loved to see a fight between Daybreaker and Nightmare Moon. That would have been epic. That
would have been
world
cool.
breaking, world busting, but it would have been awesome.
I think my favorite Daybreaker quote was, "You're sad, we get it."
Also,
It's
basically,
like that's me about 95% of the time.
yes, yeah. But yeah, basically, I do imagine that if Celestia were to be consumed by power and greed, that's what she would turn into. That's what I see. But she's able to literally keep that. She's able to keep herself in check, because she knows that, oh crap, if I go power mad, this is what I'm going to turn into.
Mm-hmm.
Also, when Celestia basically sealed Luna in the moon, she became Nightmare Moon. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. Why didn't Nightmare Moon seal Celestia in the sun? That would make better sense.
Well, they kind of actually did that in the Kitty Remar Part 2 in Nightmare Moon's future.
They sealed her in the moon or the sun?
They sealed her in the moon.
They sealed her
But
in the
he's
moon.
talking about sealing Celestia in the sun, which would
Yeah.
literally kill her.
She's
I was gonna say
she's
that
the
would be
god
pretty...
of the she's the god of the sun.
She's still a pony.
True. Well, her body would her physical form would burn, not her spirit. Then you would see her true form. For some reason, it's like a giant dragon horse thing. I'm weird, I know. Anyway. So yeah, I'm glad they gave Celestia a character. I'm glad we got to see two sides of both characters. And the reason why I said that it kind of reminds me of my sister is because me and my sister also had our differences. Of course, then again, it was kind of true that everyone did like my sister more. One person even admitted it to me. I'm like, you suck. Why are we friends again? Of course, the only difference is I didn't turn into a rampaging psychotic lunatic who can literally, basically, if I wanted to, crush the moon into the planet Earth.
Oh, we're going Zelda Majora's Mask style, huh?
Yeah, pretty much. But overall, I'm going to say they are not Mary Sue's in the slightest. They have their own character flaws, their strengths, their weaknesses, what makes them them, what, for some reason, what people like and what people dislike, what I like and what I dislike. But like I said, I would literally argue they're not Mary Sue's. They have their limits, they have their personalities, they have their flaws, like any other well-balanced character can have.
Yep.
Also, praise the moon. All right, I know. Go ahead.
Pretty much been getting everything in that I could along with you guys. Okay. Most of what I've been wanting to talk about, though, is stuff mostly about the episode for... Wow, she's sleeping. Mostly the stuff that I wanted to talk about was the royal... I almost wanted to call it Royal Pains.
Royal Problems?
Yeah, Royal Problem. A Royal Problem, that episode.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was kind of funny how they had so much problems with each other's problems with their duties. They had so much problem with each other's royal duties. And you get to realize that Celestia really does mostly smile and wave and public appearances and all this shit. And apparently Luna is just not into that.
Pretty much.
But yeah, it's all about moving from this point to that point and doing all this and doing that and doing this and doing that. And it's all about public and it's all about delegations. And it's like, she literally does not have time for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
But then it got to Luna's point and it's like, right there at the end, it was hilarious. So, did you talk to yourself?
That was fantastic. Well, you gotta admit, a lot of people, I think, take smiling and waving and making public appearances for granted. That does take a lot out of you.
And your mouth is very sore after a while.
Oh, yeah. And putting on a brave face, especially when things get tough, you know? It's your responsibility to make sure nobody panics. It's your responsibility to ensure everyone feels safe, that they know that you've got it under control, because if they don't think that, they're going to take things into their own hands, and you've got absolute anarchy.
Good news! There are no Timberwolves! Oh my god, there are Timberwolves! Well, that didn't go as it planned.
Oh, heavens.
But I have to fix this! No, we've got to do this and this and this! Ah, the world of a politician.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, the life of a sun god and a moon god. Well, sun and moon goddesses.
It was really good that both of them wound up being able to see the dream world of Starlight Glimmer, though, because that really was her biggest worry, and that was the best possible timing for both of them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The map is calling you to catch your glutts.
Yeah, Twilight's reaction there was priceless.
Yeah, I love that. Because in all honesty, I actually wanted to try to make a review of that episode, and basically with the whole Twilight's reaction, I'm like, yes, Twilight, I also can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, that would be a fun episode to review for sure.
That was probably the best episode for both of the princesses' characterizations.
Yes.
Agreed.
Because you got to see both of them in pretty much at their best and worst.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad that episode was a thing, because that to me, I love that episode. Even if Twilight was like flipping out half the time, I'm like, Twilight, chill pill, take it.
Yeah, Twilight, you need to calm down.
She wasn't even really there. She was just kind of talking through like this, this spinning around dancing toy.
Yeah, ballerina music box.
Yes, a ballerina music box.
Oh gosh. Although personally, I can relate, and I do apologize if like nobody else can relate to this, but like I have my own kids, and my daughter just started school. Like totally similar feeling right then. Like crap, you are going to be by yourself for how many hours out of the day? And, the most I know of it is like a call from your teacher or, emails from the staff. It's like, this is beyond nerve-wracking. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle it. And had I had the power to project myself onto a music box, I totally would have taken it. It's that concern that, that totally applies to teaching somebody too, and having them go out by themselves and figure it out for the first time. Tell you what, the nerves are just absolutely to the end of they're completely frayed.
Let's see. I really didn't want to talk about much more other than what you guys did. Mostly just about that episode was probably the best portrayal of those two.
I mean, there's slice of life, of course, but that was like an itty-bitty glimpse.
Also, I love the fact how Starlight pretty much called out Twilight on being biased. I love that. Because it's true.
Yep.
And plus, like I said, good episode overall. We got to see both sides, and, well, it was fun.
It was very fun. Well, anyway, is there any others?
No, I'm pretty much good with what I got.
Yeah, I think that's about as much as I got.
Oh, that's everybody.
Yes.
Well, how about you guys in the comment section then? You guys got a favorite princess? You got a favorite princess scene or episode or clip or maybe a favorite quote? Let me know in the comment section. And hey, maybe you can ask or tell us what your favorite clip here was from this little conversation. I can't believe we managed to stay on topic. Of course, it's easier with only 4 people.
True that.
It's a little bit more difficult when you got 8. But for now, this is a farewell from Burgundy Patches.
See y'all later.
And from Shadow Knight.
Stay awesome, guys.
And from Laura Rosie Sievers.
See you later, every pony.
The most wonderful girl in the world.
Speak to our adorbs.
Bias. And from Postscript of the Burning Crusaders. And I can't wait to hear some of your thoughts and feelings next.